back for another one. Today I'm doing a side dish. I might start getting into doing simple side dishes that I eat all the time. So what we have today is we're going to just do some sauteed green beans with shallots, garlic, and we're going to saute that in butter with kosher salt and fresh cracked pepper. This is what it is, pretty self-explanatory. Got some fresh green beans, got about 8 ounces, about a half a pound. I have a shallot. I have 1 shallot, 4 cloves of garlic because I'm a garlic whore. I have some fresh cracked pepper over here, about 3-4 tablespoons, maybe 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter, but that's completely up to you on what you want to do with that. And I got some kosher salt. Couldn't be simpler. All right, so I'll be right back, and we're going to cut up the green beans a little bit before we blanch them. The only other thing you're going to need is, I already have started. If you watch my videos, you guys know I always say this. I have a pot of boiling water behind me, and I also have a bowl of iced water with ice cubes in it, water, that's it. So when these come out of the pot, I can cool these down and stop the cooking process, and then we can hit the skillet. All right, hang in there, be right back. All right, so I'm just taking the ends off these green beans. Nothing hard. They don't look too bad. It's beginning of the year it's like springtime or something here. So they're not too bad. A little bit of green. We're going to try to retain a lot of that greenness. We're not going to overcook these. So the only thing, you just take these here, just line them up, just like that. Okay, just like that. Push this aside. We can put those aside off camera. And instead of picking them or whatever, this is just how I do it. So we'll take care of these. So of course you guys gotta like green beans, right? If you don't like green beans, it's probably not the recipe for you. But these are delicious. They're buttery, they're garlicky. It's got the sweet taste from the shallot. It is a little bit more sweeter than a regular onion, so if you guys don't cook with shallots, if you have a shallot or buy a shallot, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you guys do this recipe, right? Which I hope you do, and hopefully you guys give me some feedback if you like this or not. These are, like I said, this is just a simple recipe. Summertime's coming up, so if you wanted to do some recipes in the house, which I cook, I don't care what I cook all year round. I don't care how warm it gets. It usually doesn't get too warm in my house, so I cook whatever I want. I'll make a lasagna in the middle of July. It doesn't matter to me. So that's it. Okay, so all right, so beans are done. We're going to take the rest of this now, and we're going to head off to the garlic is up next. Okay, on to the garlic. So we have our 4 cloves of garlic right here. I know you guys have seen me cut up garlic probably many a times if you're a fan of this station or this YouTube channel. All right, so the only thing we're going to do here is we're just going to, just like that, and then we're just going to give it, a small dice, just like that. All right, nothing big here, guys. Anybody can do this, you guys. And I'll tell you, if you've never had fresh green beans before, it's way better than canned. Right? Like canned green beans are like, you know, in a pinch. I know people buy them, but if you've never had fresh green beans like this, give this a try. It'll there we go. Let me get myself on track here. just like that. And then we're just gonna turn around. We're just gonna mince those a little bit smaller because I don't want to bite into a chunk. But you know, if you guys like these, if you guys like garlic a little bit more thicker in your meals, then by all means. Okay, and then we're just gonna run our knife through it, just like that. Remember, the thinner that you guys do this, the quicker it's going to cook. Right? All right, I think that's good. Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, something like that. All right, onto the shallot. Okay, so onto the shallot. So what I want to do with this, so you can cut this any way you want. You can cut this down the center like this, and then cut it this way if you'd like to. That's fine. I usually try not to cut anything, you know, an onion per se. You could see the way the lines are going. They're going up and down like this. But because I want rings out of this, right, I am going to cut it going this way today. And that's only because it's just the look that I want at the end of it, okay? So we're just going to, this is it, just like this. There's nothing to this. You cut them as thick or as thin as you want. Remember, thicker that you cut these, there you go. The longer they're going to take to cook. That's all. So a shallot is sweeter than a regular onion. They cook quicker too. So you wouldn't leave these in for the same amount of time. See, I just want the rings, just like this. So we're just going to break them down like this, and then once these cook up, these are going to be, first they're going to be really sweet, and then it's going to plate up really, really good with the, so that's what you do. You just like you're making onion rings, basically. And then these are going to wilt down in the pan, so they're not going to look like this when we're done. I'm going to finish doing this here, so I don't bore the life out of you guys. And we're going to head over, boiling water. We're going to dump these beans in, get those blanched. We're only going to cook those for about 3 to 4 minutes. All right, so time for the beans to hit the water. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take some kosher salt. We're going to salt the water up a little bit, just like that. Don't be shy with it. Plenty in. Because other than that, that's all the flavor that you're putting into the beans, right? At least for this part. And we're just gonna throw the beans in. Okay? Just like that. All at once. It's gonna come right back up to boil. Nothing to worry about. We're gonna set a timer. Let's see. We're gonna set cook time. Jesus. It's almost like I don't even know my own stove. Okay, so we're gonna set the timer for about 3 minutes, and we're going to start it. I'll see you back in 3. Okay, so these are almost done. I just want to show you guys something. Look at how green that these are now. These are gorgeous. Okay, so it's just like cooking broccoli, right? Like, I love broccoli. Okay, there's that's 4 minutes. I had them in for 3. I put it in for an extra minute because that's just kind of how I like them. All right, so it's, like I said, it's just like basically cooking broccoli. You want to have a little bit of bite to these. You don't want these mushy, okay? And these are like, right now, these are perfect. Nice and green, still got a bite to them. When we put these in the skillet in just a minute here, we're just going to let these cool down. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. That's all I'm doing is just putting the beans into an ice bath here, right here. All right, so we're going to let these cool down for just a second. We're going to kill the heat on the water, bring the skillet out, get some butter melted, and we're going to get on with the rest of this recipe. Simple, but this is delicious. This is fantastic. If you guys like it spicy, green beans, I really don't do it. You guys know I'm a cayenne and a hot pepper flake guy. Like that little bit of spice and everything, but not in this dish. That's just the way I like it. All right, we'll be right back in about 2-3 minutes. Let these cool down, get some butter melted. Okay, we're back. Jesus Christ, that just reminded me of the Seinfeld episode when Kramer was went in the dumpster and got the whatchamacallit, the Merv Griffin studio and set it up in his house, and everybody was there, and he went to a fake commercial, and voila, that's what I don't know, whatever. So Seinfeld, excellent show. We'll go down in history. All right, so we got quite a bit of butter here. Okay, pan's good and hot. So what I'm going to do is I am going to dump all the butter in. Okay, because I like my green beans really buttery, and it's maybe not as bad as you think it is. All depends on how you process, right? Okay, so let's get this butter. Now we don't want to burn the butter. Okay, and we don't want to take this butter above 250-ish, or it's going to separate. All right, you don't want that to happen. You don't want your butter to separate, but we do want it hot enough. All right, so there we go. We're going to take our shallots. We're just going to throw our shallots in. This is no big deal, guys. Anybody, really, like anybody could do this. This is, and it's delicious. Like I said, you get the sweetness from everything, from the onions, shallots, I guess. What is it? Onion family, right? So we're just going to let these cook down for a couple of minutes. I'm going to let these do its thing, and then I'm going to bring it back, and we're going to dump the garlic in, put the beans in. Remember, the beans are already cooked. You want to cook the beans just before you're going to like them on your plate, as far as the hardness part of it, the crunchy part, I guess, whatever. So these aren't going to take long. These go quick. It's not like doing a yellow onion or anything like that. So these are going to be absolutely delicious. Now you can do this in olive oil too, if you want. I just prefer the taste of butter for this particular dish. Now, the only thing I did with the green beans over here is I put them on a mopine, okay, which is a dish towel. And once I put them on the dish towel, I just rolled over the dish towel and just pushed down on them just to get the extra water off, because I don't want to dilute the butter. Okay, for me, that's the main thing. Other people may disagree or agree. That's cool, either way. But that's why I do that. All right, so as soon as, like literally, as soon as I start to see a little color on these, see, these are starting to soften up now. All right, so we're going to let this do its thing for a minute or two, and I'll be right back with you guys. We're going to dump the garlic in, throw the beans in. So these are coming along pretty good. I can just start to see, and when I touch them, they're just becoming a little bit soft. So now we're going to just dump our garlic in. Now, when you start, everything's about timing, right? Because you don't want one thing overcooked or burned before the other. You guys never cooked a shallot. God, this smells so good, and it's only going to smell better because now the garlic's in there. So the garlic now, you hear me say this all the time too. I don't like burnt garlic. So everything's about timing. You want to put the garlic in when, if it takes a minute for the garlic to start doing its thing and become fragrant, then your shallots will be done at the same time. You kind of want to time that. So like a minute before I think it's done, as far as the shallots go, I dump the garlic in. I'm just going to let this do its thing. And then as soon as I smell the garlic, which I'm just about smelling it, and these onions, you can see, are starting to wilt. Okay, they're starting to break down just a little bit. Add lots of flavor to that butter when we plate this. Okay, and then we're gonna just take our green beans, and like I said, just remember, these are already cooked. All you're doing is heating these through. You're not doing nothing more to these, but just heating them up. So when those are heated, that's it. We're going to salt and pepper these, and that's it. That's the dish. Awesome side dish. As soon as I start to see that garlic, just any piece of garlic, with a little, it's just starting to become brown. Oh, this on a medium to low heat. You got an electric stove. Mine's on 4, so that's what mine's at. Okay, so I think this is good. Again, it's all about timing. You want to be able to heat your green beans through, and then your garlic kind of like racing to the finish line at the same time, right? And that's the kind of, not a secret, but that's kind of how you should deal with this. All right, so here we go. We're gonna get these green beans all in the butter, all in the garlic, and we're just gonna let these go for a couple of minutes. All right, so as soon as, and this is it, as soon as you think that these green beans are hot enough, which to me right now they are not, and when you dump those green beans in, it's going to lower the temperature of your pan, so you could just add a little heat to it at this point just to get the temperature back up. Oh, buttery, garlicky. Does it not look good? Yeah, I think it looks good. Okay, and now what we're going to do, just the last thing now, is we're going to just take some kosher salt, just like that. A little kosher salt, a little fresh cracked pepper, and mud on. Does it smell good in here? Oh boy, you just eat this. Doesn't even have to be a side dish. It could be a meal. I know that looks a little bit busy. Okay, just like that. Let's see what we got. Oh my Lord. Okay, so I'm just going to add just another pinch of salt, and I think that's a home run. Let's mix these around a little bit, just like that. All right, it's time to plate. Right, on to plate, and these are all done, and these look fantastic today. Very good. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put these, on the plate. And like I said, it's about 8 ounces. This is enough for a couple of servings, so if you had somebody over for dinner or whatnot, this would be plenty. Okay, so one other thing, we are just going to, so let's do this. We'll push that back a little bit, just like that, and then we have some garlic and some butter. All right, and that is how I would do that for today. All right, let me clean up a little bit of the mess here. So like this, hate a mess. All right, and we'll do that just like that. All right, guys, that's it. This is how I do it. This is green beans with shallots and garlic. Very delicious, very yummy. Make this. It's not a long recipe at all. All right, you guys like it? Throw a thumbs up. Share the video. Somebody might like it, and I will see you. I will see you in the next video. We'll have one next week. All right, guys. Have a great day.